So when we left the main group, you had just finished beating down the sweet cellar, and you had found the canvas flap um, in the back of the shop that opened into a backstage area. So looking around backstage, there's a few things that are immediately noticeable. First of all, the bright lights are gone. They've been replaced by torches on makeshift stakes. And clearly, this is all of the standard bright lights, the distractions, all of the excitement from the midway is gone. This is a muted area that is populated by the people who are working behind the scenes. And as you sweep your eyes around, you see a few other things. One of them is you do still see those little translucent figures, the echoes of guests from fairs long ago. Um, but these aren't figures that are excited or are in tourist mode. They're mostly running, and the bits of their faces you can see look terrified. Um, and as you look around, um, before you, in the backstage area, is a set of tents, and seated at the tents is a character that we're going to go ahead and introduce. George is sitting on a bench next to a figure wearing a soldier's uniform and clutching a set of juggling clubs to his chest and beginning to cry. So, what do we see when we look at George?
Uh, well, we're in a hollow, so George looks like a upper class woman currently. Um, I think the vibe I got from the setting is that we're sort of roughly what Victorian-ish,
Hmm.
maybe Edwardian,
Yeah,
somewhere in that kind of general range. So, your Irene Adler, you're kind of somewhere in that range of things. This is somebody who um, looks like they are money, and it has a lovely shawl draped over her shoulder, and a rifle strapped across her back.
excellent. So the rifle. If you don't mind, since we've got everyone else kind of covering one of the weapons, I will provide the voice of the rifle periodically. And in my mind, I'm going to check this out with you, make sure this works for you. Is the things that the rifle tends to say to you are, it wants you to be clever, it wants you to be patient, and then it wants you to be merciless. So, is there anything else you'd like to add to the personality of your rifle?
Clever, patient, and merciless, you said?
Yes.
I think that all checks out with my mental image for how I got that weapon in the first place. So that's actually right on target.
Perfect. Okay. So as the rest of the group comes up and they see you there, and the soldier is sitting next to George, just kind of rocking and tears beginning to run down his face, and just saying, "Oh, why did I tell them I was a juggler? I can't juggle." And he just holds up his clubs and looks at them, and then looks at you, looks back at the clubs, and then looks at the group coming and starts. And it's like, ah, who's that? Who's that?
It appears to be your audience. Perhaps you should make an attempt.
The color drains from his face. He looks at you and his face is now just like white as a sheet. And he looks over at the rest of you, and you can see like the corners of his mouth, kind of like someone's moving them into place with a hydraulic jack, kind of forces them into a smile. He's like, "Welcome to the fair," and he takes out his clubs, and he just kind of like does a little hand over hand on one and catches it again. Looks down. It looks a little surprised that he's caught it, and then he dances around a little bit, but he's really not letting the clubs out of his hand. He's just kind of moving them around like he's trying to direct an airplane on a runway, and uh, And then he does try to toss one, and it immediately hits the ground. He kicks it out of the way, hoping no one saw it, and then stands there, sweat pouring down his face, and says, "Ta-da!" and looks to everyone for a reaction.
Applause. Yay,
Po-
applause.
polite clap.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
magnificent.
Can the pen that he hurled have come too near me so that I get to like skitter out of the way?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's
Okay.
perfect. Yep. All right. So he looks at everyone and just kind of you can see that, that his eyes kind of have a flicker of hope across them, and then they just screw up, and he flops down, and he's just like, they're going to find out, and then they're going to take care of me like they took care of the others. And he puts his head in his hands again, and just kind of rocks back and forth.
Is he next to me again?
Yes.
Darling, what are you talking about? I thought you did an excellent job. It's just a matter of practice.
I, it's
Gosh,
I
everyone can circle with their feet.
he looks over at you and just kind of gives you a look and nods very slowly, and then looks at his feet, and he's like, I've been here for months, and I just found these clubs, and I thought that if I convinced everyone back here that I was a juggler, they'd leave me alone. And any of you, could any of you teach me how to juggle?
I'm afraid not. Unless any of
No.
these nice people here could assist.
Does Rafa have like a million tentacles at this present
I
moment?
was, I was gonna say I could attempt to try, but I don't think you have as many appendages as I do.
Mhm.
I will. So let's do this. Anyone with a sufficient quick skill probably knows a little bit, knows enough about how to throw something up in the air and catch it. Um, and we could say that you could make a shot at teaching him how to juggle. Um, if that is interesting, we could propose it to him, and he can talk about what he would offer. But if you're not interested, then well, we can move on.
Had anyone had anyone ever wanted to do a rat juggle?
I mean, I'm willing to try.
I'm willing to watch.
Exactly.
I
We
don't
can
think
throw you a coin.
we haven't described ourselves to George.
Why don't we do that? Yeah. So when George looks at the three of you, let's go one by one. What does she see when she looks at Felicity?
A little rat that has a teeny tiny little knife and a teeny tiny little pistol, which I guess is maybe in a little holster like a belt,
Oh,
I love it.
and half a tail at the present moment.
And I don't know if we've established, does Felicity's voice sound high and squeaky, or does it sound just like a normal child's voice when she
I think
talks?
it sounds high and squeaky, and I don't think she talks a whole lot while she is a rat.
Gotcha. All right.
Because I think it, with a rat instinct, I think she has this feeling that it's gonna attract attention,
Mm. Well,
and that
okay.
would be best avoided.
Well, I don't want to rob you of the joy of doing the voice whenever you have
Oh
Felicity
dear.
speak. You can live your best life, and you can either say we will assume that the voice is applied, but really, I mean, you came all this way. Why not speak in a high pitched, squeaky little rat voice? So, but
Because
anyway,
I am myself and
fair
a
enough.
a
I was
self-conscious person. So I don't know. I will think about it.
so I,
It will
I
not be super duper high pitched.
fair enough. So I will withdraw that question, and as George's eyes flick around the circle, and they settle on Rafa. What does George see when she looks at Rafa?
Um, so she would see a young woman about 5'4" with curly green hair, that wears black clothing with a black hood on it. And she happens to have a whole bunch of tentacles coming out of her back, almost like a Cthulhu creature. And she has her trusty book that she keeps in her hand at all times. And she's got little fangs when she smiles.
mm,
Perfect.
I'm sure.
And as her eyes Shift over to Garrett. What does George see?
Depending on how tall George is, they would shift over from Rafa, little cute short Rafa, over to probably about abdomen, looking up at this like this six behemoth of an armored man with like jet black straight back hair with a couple ends sticking out, bright blue eyes, and facial tattoo to symbolize like the branch of the army he's in, and just his armor is covered in big black spikes. His beard had barbs on it, as he just standing there very like stoic looking, and just kind of like when she looked over at him, he just nods at her.
Does he have any marks of rank on him? Like, would I know what rank he is to be able to address him appropriately?
Uh, the the mark on his face, like it's his rank, which has him being. I imagine the rank in the inside the hollow would still kind of represent his rank outside the hollow, which is either town guard or town patrol.
So when she makes eye contact with you, then she'll raise her hand to her head as if she were tipping a cap, which, no hat, maybe a fascinator if we're lucky, but raises her hand to her head as it, mimics, mimes tipping her hat a little bit and says, Patrolman, a pleasure, I'm sure.
So
Nice.
as the four of you kind of make your introductions, the soldier's behind and his eyes are kind of darting around. He has not been able to take his focus off Felicity since she said, I could teach you. So he's just kind of like, yeah, 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 cool, 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 cool. So juggling. Listen. If I don't need to know a lot. I just need to know how to keep a couple of clubs in the air for a little bit of time, enough so they don't look too close. And I then his voice drops to a whisper. He says, I hid some stuff. All right, the last of my munitions before I got pulled into whatever this is. And I'll show you where it is. It's yours. You can have it. I just need a break. I just need this little thing to go right.
I have an operational question.
All right.
If I touch something in the hollow that is normal sized, will it become Felicity sized? Because I
TBD.
cannot juggle with those pens as they are.
Yeah, I think in this case the pins will not cover, so you'll have to basically explain to him how to do it by watching him. Um, so I'll tell you what the stakes would be. So this would be a target number 12 quick check, and if you do this, you will get the munitions that the juggler is carrying. On a partial success, it will tire you out, and you will take 2 resolve. And on a failure, it will take time, and we will increase doom by 1. But that's fine. You guys know that doom is no big deal.
Right. Okay, I think I would like to um I think this makes sense with like the urchin background that I would have sleight of hand, um, like pickpockety skills.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would just kind of scurry around this little area and look for like pebbles or something,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and start just like you know wicking my little paws through the air, like you toss this one like this, and you toss this one like that, and then you quick grab this, and you swoop like this, and going through the probably way too quick for him to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, doing my little demonstration.
All right.
My cat just sneezed next to the microphone.
Thank
That
you.
was very unprofessional, Baker.
Thank you, Baker. All right. So the stakes are, yeah. So if you want to make a superior or critical success, we'll just give it to you. A partial success, you'll succeed, but you'll take 2 resolve. And on a failure, we will advance doom by 1. The other thing that I will offer, because I'm feeling the largesse, is that I will let you get a. If you fail the result, I will let you convert it to an automatic success for a second doom.
Okay. Do we have like residual doom from
Uh,
last time?
so if we take a look at the map of the Forever Fair worksheet, you'll see that the doom counter is currently at 5 doom.
All right.
So I'm over on that tab right now, and we're going to set this to Felicity. Quick, your stat is 14. The target number is 12.
Okay.
That is what we end. Yeah. So as you're explaining to him, it's just kind of like the important thing is that you keep your eyes at the height of the apogee, and each of the balls you practice throwing them up and down so they hit the same height, and he starts to get it, and then within quicker than you would have expected. No time has passed at all, and he actually completes 3 passes of keeping the 3 clubs in the air. And he's like, "I'm doing it! I'm doing it!" And then his voice drops to a whisper. He's like, "I'm doing it!" And he drops them down, and he just runs over, and he just kind of gives you a really quick little hug, and then he's like, "Sorry, that was too much. Anyway," and he scurries off, and he comes back to the group, and he's holding a little box, with some sort of unfamiliar material. You can't really tell what it's made out of, but and written on the front of the box are the words "face towards enemy," and he says so it's unconventional. He's like basically. Okay, listen. It's not all that complicated. You basically put it on the ground. You pull this string, and this side points towards the enemy. Don't be on this side when you pull the string. You should be on the other side. And he looks around to see if he's doing a good job of explaining it. He's like, this side will hurt. It will make a big noise, and things will bleed. And then he starts mimicking and like pantomiming, like, ah, and he falls on the ground. And he's like, and he's like, anyway, it's yours, thank you. Would someone like to take the old claymore?
I think it's probably too big for me. I also forgot to mention I'm also carrying a little pinwheel.
Yes,
spinny.
Yes. So Felicity is carrying a little tiny pinwheel with an infinity sign with 2 eyes in the middle of it. And Garrett is inexplicably wearing 2 pairs of glasses, a set of X-ray glasses, and then a set of tarnished, tiny puppet-sized glasses on top of that. And Rafa has a stuffed owl on her shoulder, which is surveying the area, clearly animated and maybe not alive, but alive adjacent, and just kind of taking it all in. So anyone who would like can take the claymore, or you guys can just say, who needs a claymore? We'll just leave it there.
I mean, I will take it if the soldier who the town's guard, who I would assume is most qualified to carry an explosive, doesn't step up to take it.
Oh no, he's absolutely giving this to you. Oh, the town guard Garrett, you mean? Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Garrett, do you want to? You're already carrying 2 sets of spectacles. You
Yeah,
can wear.
no, I'm about to say with all the stuff Garrett had taken already, Garrett's just like, you know what? I believe in you. You're our new friend, and you take this one. So you got this. I believe in you.
All right.
I'll tell you all this. How about if I offer to carry this if you will allow me to join your party?
Garrett just leans over to Rafa and Felicity and goes, I thought we was already going to take this one with us.
Is she the same as us?
Yeah.
Well, the tall guy did mention other hunters in here.
Oh, I forgot that.
I like to think that you guys are whispering, but it's quiet enough that she can hear this perfectly.
She doesn't have to hear you. She's doing the very polite thing of pretending that she can't, but obviously can.
Yeah, there's like a little ratty squeak, like, is she one of us?
Like in roleplay, I just imagine he's whispering, but it's the worst whispering you've ever heard in your life, just like me in real life.
Yeah, and she,
You
she's,
whisper like you throw rats, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
I say
Yes.
we let him go. Okay. So, as
I'm,
go ahead.
no, I was just going to give a hint that I am okay with that.
Perfect.
So I'll go ahead and pick up the claymore, and with my left hand, and with my right hand, I will start with Felicity and offer, while I'm still crouching down to pick up the claymore, reach out with my pinky and offer that to shake and introduce myself. George Edgerton Beale, pleasure to make your acquaintance. And you are.
Felicity would come forward shyly because she is super not. Even before she was this, she was a street urchin, so she's not used to society manners. So she would just like grab your finger real quick and let it go and be like, "I'm Felicity," and then back up.
Lovely to meet you, Felicity. And uh, I'm not sure. Should I grab one of these squiggly bits or your hand to shake? Your holiness?
Talking to you, Rafa.
My hand, please. And she puts her hand out.
George Edgerton Beale, and you are.
I am Rafa, and it's very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you as well, Rafa. And, um, officer?
He put his hand out, and like you say that, in his brain initially go to like reach out for like a soldier handshake, but then like looks at you and goes, Not appropriate," and like more gently grabs your hand and shakes it and goes, "The name is Gary."
You get one of those power handshakes like baby boomer bosses like to give,
Yeah, yeah.
like a little bit firmer than the person shaking your hand should be going, and gives you like, so you've got that good awkward squeeze going on from George. A pleasure to meet you.
Oh, I should have just grabbed your hand the correct way then. I'm sorry.
So, as you make these introductions, and then finally as you reach out and you pick up the claymore, you realize that the music, which has never quite faded into the background, it's as your fingers brush the claymore, it's almost like you hear three or four keys on the organ, like right next to each other, just kind of hit really sour, and a little bit of a wind picks up as something about this item is is filled with power, and the hollow around you has noticed you picking it up.
Oh,
So
right. Every time we get a relic, we get one more doom.
that's what's happening. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's give you a little bit of a look around where we are. So, in addition to these benches that are kind of pulled around, you can see a couple of things. First of all, leading from the sweet shop and going through this backstage area and towards a set of caravans that you see a little farther away are a set of wagon ruts, and they look very very well traveled. This is a high traffic area for a wagon going from the sweet shop and disappearing farther off to the north. Um, Off to the west, there's a smaller path, and it's almost you almost miss it. It's really barely a path at all. But you see that a little bit of worn dirt that kind of leads into the forest and kind of up a bit of a hill. And as you're taking this in, the owl on Rafa's shoulder, its head kind of looks over at that little path and says, "I haven't been back here before, but there's something about that path that's compelling, but I couldn't say why." And then he descends back into brooding silence.
Well, to be fair, the last time we didn't listen to you, didn't go so well. So what do y'all think?
These wagon ruts, are they leaving this Well, I guess never mind. I was thinking for a second that things were able to exit the hollow and go to the real world, but I don't
Hmm.
think that's true.
Well, if you would like to examine the wagon ruts a little more closely, there might be something you can figure out. I would let you or anyone in the party do a sharp check, and the deal I will offer is that on a success, partial or otherwise, you will get some information about these wagon ruts, and you will learn something about the area. On a
Okay.
f- on a partial success or a failure, the cost will be one doom, as you will take time, and it will avail you nothing.
Um, does looking at the wagon ruts happen to involve getting my elbows in mud? Roll for advantage or no?
If you want to sell me on the fact, yeah, we can absolutely say there is mud. If you would like to get down in it, as
I
they
mean,
say.
there's ruts.
I'm
Ruts
going to measure
suggests
the
mud.
ruts with my arms.
Come along.
Mm,
I want to see their circumference and their depth.
hmm
What I was curious about too is like, I mean, where I hope that they're not taking those pastries outside.
Ew.
Oh, look.
That's what I'm worried about.
Well,
So
this is we are at the point of the character sheet where you roll with advantage on exploration when you dot dot dot, and yours specifically, which says get up to your elbows in mud and shit. Um, why, yes, this does qualify for that. So if you would like
yay.
to roll twice, there's your superior success. You want to roll again? Okay, well, doesn't matter.
I'll take the success.
Beautiful. All right. So you
Yeah.
without spending any time at all, you get down and you get a look at the ruts, and you can see that the ruts have been made by carts going in both directions, but the parts that are moving from the sweet shop into the distance are heavier and deeper. So the carts are laden with something leaving the sweet shop, and they're coming back lighter and emptier. The other thing
Guys, I have this.
the other thing you notice because of superior success is um, under a little bit of the mud nearby, there's a little tiny child's shoe.
Does this happen to match the shoe that we used to get in?
It's similar, but it's a different pair.
Um,
Well, yeah, we had like a little Mary Jane or something, I think, didn't we? The first time.
Sorry, I have an initial reaction to the
Not
word.
that.
Yeah.
Not that. A shoe.
Yeah. Puff, pass. Okay.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
I understood that
Is
reference.
that fort up on Cypress Hill? Is that what you're saying?
We're moving on.
Mhm.
My atmosphere. So
My atmosphere.
Sorry.
nope. That was all me. I made this problem. So yeah, you can kind of see that the path off to the west into the woods is is a little less traveled, and it doesn't have any wagon ruts at all. So this is a footpath for sure, and you can see that it does lead upwards. And looking a little more closely, you can see that at the edge of the woods, you can see that the path leads up a hill where there seems to be a little makeshift child's fort that has been assembled up on a hill, but that's all you can see.
But the shoe was found in the in among the ruts that are
Correct.
traveling away from Backstage to the north.
Exactly right.
I have bad news and bad news. They're either smuggling sweets or children,
Or both.
or
Both.
both.
Why making children into sweets?
That was my next thing I was
We
gonna say.
we ate those things.
Bleh.
Yeah, I already thought about that.
Everybody barfs.
Yeah,
Yeah. fair.
Robin tosses the cookies.
There's a barf interlude.
So I will reiterate that my promise at the start of the adventure was this adventure does
Oh,
not
right.
involve death and physical harm to children.
Oh,
I
that's
So
forgot.
true.
Okay.
I forgot you.
slow your squeaked out rolls.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
It's
Oh,
no
okay.
no children have been consumed in the making of this adventure.
Okay, no, that say that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So should we head towards the kids first, or?
Yeah, I'm okay with listening to
Yeah,
the owl this
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
I think if there's a child in danger, then that would be the priority.
Yep. So we all agree. Go save the children.
All right.
Hurrah!
All right. So as you peer down this path and you move towards the fort, you can see that the clearing is just essentially a break in the trees to the north, to the south, to the west, and even really to the east where you came from. The woods are very very thick and it's very very dark and impossible to see. So the
Just
clearing essentially is the edge of the woods, a hill, and then the fort at the top of the hill. Yes, question.
just for clarification's sake, I'm sorry to interrupt,
Mhm.
but I thought we were going after the children, and since the
Oh,
shoe was found along the caravan rut,
mm,
did I misunderstand?
I
Is that
probably
what
was.
everybody
I
is
probably
that what
misunderstood.
everybody else was thinking? Or I mean,
I thought we were gonna follow the rut.
Following the ruts, it
Okay.
is. All right, none of that stuff
Okay.
happened. You,
Fine.
you, you wash it from your minds. As I was saying, you head north. Um, heading
What was that
north,
for?
heading north into essentially the ruts kind of continue north through various tents, shacks, and makeshift places that those who are keeping the fair operational have put up to maintain. And as you go farther north, the light gets dimmer and dimmer, and until finally around a bend, you can see a set of caravans where, which ostensibly this would be the living quarters for people who are working at the fair. The caravans are arranged in a rough semicircle, and in the center of the circle there is a cook fire burning, and there's more benches, kind of similar to the ones by the entrance of the sweet shop, kind of ringing around the fire. And as you look, you can see there's probably 10 to 12 figures who are seated on those benches, and one or two of them have noticed you. The others haven't, but even the ones who have noticed don't seem alarmed. But as you get closer, these figures aren't what you would recognize as human forms. They are basically amalgams of human limbs that have been put together wrong. So heads attached directly to legs, torsos with faces in their bellies, um, fingers growing from necks with eyes at the ends of the fingers, and on and on and on. And as you stand and look, more and more of them kind of look over, and the conversation dies out a little bit.
They don't attack us.
They do not.
I will. I'm going to look around at my new companions. Do the eye contact thing with everybody. Like, so are we doing this? Is this what's going on? Mhm. And unless anybody steps forward or otherwise indicates they'd rather turn tail and go the other direction, go ahead and take point and walk forward confidently. And hello, nice to meet you all. We're looking for a lost child.
As you step forward, the long barrel of the rifle vibrates under your hand, and you hear the whisper in your voice, "What are you doing? We go in later. We are the back line. Patience, patience." But then it sees that you've already walked forward, and this is like, "Or not. Fine. Whatever. We'll just we'll just do this then." And then it retreats into a assault. And as you step forward, two of the figures, the one that's just a head on a foot, looks over at the one that's essentially a head two arms coming directly from the head, and then a foot under the arms. And the head foot guy just says, "Told you," and the other guy says, "Damn it," and hands him a handful of coins. And the thing with that's just a head and a leg catches the coins on the back of his foot and just kind of flips the foot, and they go over behind him. And he looks over at you and says, I bet M5 that the next group coming through would be hunters."
I'm sorry, hunters?
And the,
No, no, no. I'm a fairgoer. I paid my ticket fee to enter and be entertained.
all of these creatures kind of stop incredulously and then just burst out laughing. And there's like one of them is just like, "Darling, darling, we're the help. You don't have to fool with us. You've already left the midway. Look at what you're carrying." And just one of the ones that has a hand just points, and it's just like, "The rifle, the armor, the book." It's like, "Oh, come on." It's like, we know why you're here, and you know why you're here, and the only question is how long it's going to take you to get to Tommy. And as he says the word, the wind picks up a little bit, and you hear a woman's voice calling, "Tommy!" And then it's gone. And then all of the creatures look a little uneasily at each other. And one of them looks over and says, "Ixnay on the amite octe." He's like, I know. And then so the one with the head and the foot just looks over and just says, "So I'm. They call me Heel. Come in, have a seat."
Can I look at the person that said Ixnay and say something to them?
Absolutely. What would you like to say?
Uke is a amite.
All right.
Oh, polyglot.
Rafa, I would like you to give me a wise check of 12, and there is no downside to a failure.
Okay.
After this, I have an out of character question too.
Absolutely.
Oh, darn it.
All right. The creature looks at you and just shakes its head very slowly and very deliberately. Now, once again, because I am filled with largesse, I will allow you to re-roll that at the low cost of a single doom.
Mm,
Um,
Yeah, like we don't hear the diabolical laughter there. So.
What?
if this is their home, does that count as like persuading them to let you in? I'm just trying to roll with advantage.
I'm aware. I'm just trying to decide if let's see. It's not going to apply because it is not a nice, clean home. It is it is an outdoor shithole. So, but I do appreciate the request. So, in fact, I'll go one better. I'll let you have I'll let you get a success for a doom.
I have a really bad feeling about asking again, but they've been mentioned a few times now, and there's a bunch of, screaming when it happens. Y'all hear that too, right?
Garrett
Yeah.
just walks up to Rafa and just lightly picks her up and pulls her away. Let's not tempt fate any more than we already have, shall we? Thank you.
Fine, as long as you don't try to throw me.
If you make any bad choices, I may just.
Don't let him.
So through this conversation, and I'm assuming we are not doing a re-roll. Then we're not doing the. That's fine. That's fine. I'm a little sad, but it's fine. So so as this exchange is happening, the creature with eyes at the end of its fingers is looking at each of you one at a time, and it looks at Rafa, and its eyes linger on the little bit of fingertip that's missing. Its eyes go to Felicity. Its eyes linger on the tail. And Garrick, missing. And then the eyes come to George, and the eyes. It's hard to explain how the eyes would get wide because they're just eyeballs at the end of fingers, but they do. And
Mm-hmm.
and right away, this figure becomes agitated and grabs one of the others and does a little pantomime because he has no mouth. He must not scream. So he and the figure with the head and the foot, heel we called him, is just
Mm-hmm.
like stops and looks at him very intently, then looks over at George and says, "You you made the deal with the Ledger Stone."
Yes, I did.
All of the creatures kind of get together and say, "Well, that's complicated."
Oh, I'm accustomed to bookkeeping. I deal with moneylenders on occasion.
He'll just kind of props himself up a little higher and walk in a very dignified way, which I'm not going to be able to explain. Kind of hops over a little closer and
A
just says,
dignified hop. Mm-hmm.
it's a dignified, solemn hop, and just says, "Listen, the stone, it's captured a bit of you that's been sent off to." And he takes a deep breath, thinks about it, and the other characters also vigorously shake their heads, and he says, "It's been taken within," and he points off to the north, where now that you get your eyes have kind of become accustomed to the dimmer light, and you're seeing around you, the wagon ruts here branch off in two different directions, and he's pointing off to the north, where a, a large house, a manor house, um, with poor lighting, overgrown lawn, um, weeds everywhere, and boards that have been pulled a little bit off windows, rises and kind of towers above the area. It gives everyone the heebie-jeebies a little bit. As you're looking around, you also see that the wagon ruts move off to the east, and you can see that off in the distance, there's the smell of some sort of garbage dump is noticeable, and it's pungent, but not terribly so. Um, and that's all we'll say about the area for now. But he does say, so you've got a little bit of yourself that's been sent within, and it'll be waiting for you.
Mm. So it's in safekeeping, and I can retrieve it.
Heel kind of ponders and he says, "No, it's the other one. Uh, it's not in safekeeping. It is a problem.
Hmm.
It is a bit
Speak
of.
on that.
It is. He kind of says it's very hard to explain without attracting attention." And they all kind of look at each other. And he says,
Is this kind of a fighting your inner demon situation?
"It's like it's. There will be an opportunity for self-reflection, and
Mm.
this will be difficult for you." And then one of the guys just kind of says, "Unless," and everyone else just it's like hands, shut up. We can't talk about it. And he's like, "Oh, I did it again." It's like, "No, I know. Just we're all under a lot of pressure."
You know,
Well, thank you for sharing. I do appreciate the information. And also your hospitality at your lovely little camp here.
And it's kind of they all kind of shrug and say, "I mean, it's all we can do, right? We just go on the best we can with what we've got."
Don't
And
we all?
and
Is this an okay moment to ask my question real
oh, of
quick?
course, I'm so sorry. Go
'Cause,
for it.
Um, in our previous hunts and stuff, do we know like what creatures, how creatures like this function would these have been created by the Hollow, or are these like citizens who were corrupted to function like this within the Hollow? Because they're not like a monster. They're just like staff
So
perpetuating this thing. So
yeah.
what are these that what did they used to be, if anything?
So hollows work in different ways in your experience. Sometimes um, individuals, creatures, beings who were known to the Lord, were part of the Lord's story, will become transformed when the hollow blossoms. Other times, people, individuals, creatures, etc., that are nearby will get sucked into the hollow and will get transformed. And still yet are other creatures that are actually brought into being within the hollow, and those are called the hollow born. So the creatures you're looking at could be any of those. It could be someone he knew or a group of people he knew that have been transmogrified. It could be that they are just phantasms that have been called into being. What would you like to do?
Like,
Well, I moved when they offered for us to join them. I went ahead and popped a squat on one of the benches that was offered up. I'm not going to refuse um, hospitality. That would be rude.
Okay.
It would be déclassé.
All right. A squat has been popped. What do the rest of you do?
I'll go join.
All right. Anyone else?
Garrett's looking around. There even enough room for someone as big as me?
You could sit down, but essentially it would be like when you go to the pre-kindergarten school and they make you sit at the kids' desk. So
Always the kids' table, I tell you.
I don't remember. I'm sorry, I was already blanking out. What are they going to do once we're like hanging out with them?
um, well, nothing. One of them
Okay.
had kind of offered the unless you and they'd been shushed by the rest of the group.
Okay.
So that's a possibility for discussion. I mean, you guys, this is an RPG. You guys can do what you want. You can have them create some dice, and you can we can recurse. But no, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. But yeah, anything you want to do is fair game. We'll make it work.
I think I will not like sit with them, but just kind of like hover nearby, be ready to run away
Okay,
if they do anything.
got it. Okay. So you're kind of keeping watch. I'm gonna do this then. Give me a roll under your sharp, Felicity. And this is going to be just a something that's left over from an early play test, which is that if you're keeping watch, and we need to do a roll, um, if you succeed on this, then you can convert their failure to a success. And it says on a failure mark one doom, but I'm not going to do that because this is the first one, and the first one's free.
I hope I do catch something on my watch that I can squeak cutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a
Succeeded.
success. Excellent. All right. So if during this scene we do need to make a roll, we will automatically succeed. So as you sit, and some of these creatures kind of go back to their own little side conversations, but the one called Hands, who's again just kind of a head with two arms coming out of the neck and then a couple of feet right under that. It's very weird. Is he's trying to catch George's attention and just kind of trying to like scooch up next to you, um, and as you are in conversation, you feel Hands is kind of like passing something to you, trying to keep it very very quiet.
Okay, just like passing notes in class. So
Hmm.
reach behind and under and carefully draw it up, and since I've got my shawl draped over my shoulders, I can kind of lean forward and in the shadow of the shawl take a look at whatever was handed to me.
Okay. So in the few seconds you have to kind of glance down at it, you can see that it's a piece of paper, and at the top of it is scrawled uh, "Defense from the Ledger Stone," and there seems to be a set of instructions, but it's hard to read in this light.
Okay. Fold it back up, tuck it away somewhere safely in my garments for a closer look when I have more light.
Got it. Okay. As you're doing this, there's a bit of a flutter in the air, and suddenly from off in the east, you hear what sounds almost like the ghost of a scream, and all of the figures, and you look up in time to see um, two of those translucent figures running, screaming open mouthed from the rubbish fields to the east, through the center of the caravans, and continuing to the west, where you see them enter the door of an old shack that you hadn't noticed off to the west, and they disappear inside, and conversation dries up quickly, and the characters kind of say, Ugh, "I hate when that happens." And as they do, and the wind begins to pick up, some of these figures begin to move away and disappear to their caravans for the night.
What did happen?
It's Heel just kind of looks up, and I'm not going to try to explain how it looks when he shrugs, but he shrugs and he says, "It's echoes." He's like, "It's those that were here before, and some of them have been caught, and some of them have been kept, but these points to the path that these figures have passed on. Some of them have been chewed up and spat back out, and it really does not bear thinking about." And with that, he says, "And that's it for me tonight." And he hops off into a caravan and disappears.
They really like the riddles, don't they?
Well, this place might not let them speak plainly.
It'd be dangerous if they speak plainly from the sounds of it.
So all of them are picking up
Not
and
quite
leaving.
clean.
Yeah.
I think that was our signal to leave. It would be rude to overstay our welcome.
Agreed. So
So
which direction should we have next?
we have you.
Something was happening on the field. Sure.
What was that?
Something was happening on the field, but I don't know.
So the question becomes, do we investigate where those people ran from or to where they ran to? Or are we not interested?
If we go to, they can tell us what they ran from.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Works for me.
All right. Is that a vote for the old shack?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
All
Aye,
right.
aye.
All right. The old shack is, well, I didn't bury the lead on this. It's old. It is a shack. And as you step near it, the woods that this is against seem to kind of close in around you, and chills go up and down everyone's spines a little bit. And but it's quiet. Everything is very quiet as you arrive at the door of the shack. Do you enter the shack?
Should we knock?
I mean, it's only polite. Go just
Are there
knock on the door.
windows in the shack? Or like holes in the gaps in the planks on the side and stuff?
There is one window, and it has been papered up from the inside.
Any like rat-sized reconnaissance holes? Very convenient.
Nothing that you can see.
Okay.
How big is this thing? Like, would it be reasonable for something the size of Felicity to be able to do a you know quick circle around it, or is it more like one of us would need to walk the perimeter?
I'm very quick, so I could like,
Yeah.
ouch, cat. Gosh, hang on, my cat. Like his new pastime is stepping on my hair.
Oh yeah. That's a good time.
Um,
Yeah, and yeah, anyone could can do a reconnoiter. And if anyone does want to do it, um, let me know. There will be a roll involved, and I will not tell you what it is before you do it.
I feel like I've rolled several times already. I don't mind doing like a scurry around because I am still the quickest one.
All right, Felicity, are you leaving to do a circle of the house?
Yeah, and I'm trying to like stay in the shadows of it and be as quiet as a rat. Um, and try not to attract the notice of anything that's in there.
All right,
But if
Before
I can, like, spy a little gap, I will try to look in there.
all
before
right.
the roll, I'm not sure if this game has a mechanic for like an assist, because I'd be happy to walk the perimeter alongside Felicity,
Mm.
where because she's going to be the one who'll be able to get up and peek in small holes.
Yeah. So, I will remind you, we the results of Felicity keeping watch mean that the next exploration roll that you have to make will be a success. Now,
Oh, okay. Well
whether you
then,
would like to use that right now, or whether you would like to use that for something else, is up to you. But I do need to know ahead of time if you want to use it.
well,
Do we
I
have to
did for the
decide before we
tacos.
roll it?
Yeah.
I will leave that up to you, Taco.
Um, yeah, let's go ahead and use that, I guess.
All right. Now, um, if George would like to keep watch while Felicity does it, it'll be the same thing. And George, I will have you make a roll of sharp. And you just have to get under your sharp, which is 13. So it's should be easy. And on a success, the next exploration will succeed. But
And to do that, I just click this little
click the little
use.
D20, and we'll see if we've got you hooked up to use JavaScript yet on this sheet. You did.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. Okay, so you have another success, just kind of waiting in the wings. So as you both walk around, it's
Mhm.
not until you get to the very very far back, right up against the woods, that the hairs on the back of your respective necks just stand up, and there's the very very intense feeling that something is watching you, and
Mm.
it's it's an almost palpable sense of dread. But you're able to shake it off with no ill effects. Nothing is drained from you. There's nothing that is lost. Just just a moment on the back edge of this shack where you think that maybe the part of this shack against the woods isn't the right place to be.
Mm. Like there's a presence in the woods.
It's hard to say. You were absolutely watched when you were at the back.
Okay. And we complete the circuit. Is Taco able to find any gaps where she can look in, or Felicity rather?
Oddly, and this is the interesting thing that you get from from the reconnaissance, is that an old building like this would almost always have places for a a rat-sized creature to burrow in. There'd be little chinks in the wood. There would be little areas where creatures have burrowed under the boards. But this has nothing. All of the edges, the joinery, where it looks like they would be splitting apart and aging. There's something blocking it. And it's hard to make out what it is, but as you go around, all of the normal places where you'd be able to gain entrance have been completely blocked up. It's almost like someone was doing a very, very thorough bit of winterizing.
Or this is something else that's just like doing an impression of an old shack.
Mm.
I mean, that's what the whole hollow is, I guess. I would report that, and that's character voice if you can't tell.
Oh,
Just a
sure.
little bit higher. That's how I settled it. It's not going to be super higher. It's just going to be a little higher.
Perfect. All right.
Um, yeah. So that's what I report back. That like, it's too perfect.
All right.
So definitely either hmm, maybe it's all boarded up because it's some form of shelter to hide in. Since we did see people running towards it.
It could be well sealed to keep something in as well as to keep things out.
It's
That
not
is
like a
fair.
hollow to provide shelter for its victims.
Also fair.
The,
Well,
the wind begins to pick up.
Well, do
maybe we
we?
do on the door.
You say you open the door?
No, I said maybe we do knock on the door.
All right. Who knocks?
Garrett.
All right. What does your armor say to you as you stride forward ahead of everyone?
Armor.
There's a reason you're brawn and not brain.
Damned if I do and damned if I don't with you,
Man,
I swear.
the armor's given tough love today. All right. So,
Almost every day.
all right. So Garrett's enormous fist pounds on the door, and there's no response from inside, but the door gives slightly and just kind of creaks open about an inch and then stops.
Good thing none of us are genre savvy and we haven't seen any horror movies.
You should,
None of us. None of us.
you should all split up.
No. How about no?
Just a
That
thought.
looks like an invitation.
It's 1 of 5. I've seen one. And he'll just go ahead and push the door on open.
As the door pushes open, there's a sudden sickening lurch in the ground below you, and all of you are pulled in by something you don't understand, and the door slams shut behind you, because of course it does. And then there's a sudden disorienting lurch, and everyone stumbles, and it's like you're falling. And then you hit the ground again, and everything is black. It's not just dark, it's black. It's a deep, unnatural, pitch black darkness that seems to be seeping into your skull through your eyes. And each of you, for a moment, has a panic, thinking that you've been dropped in here alone. But then there's muffled sounds of steel unsheathing, stances being planted, familiar voices muttering curses. And they're reaching you from what feels like it's very, very far away. And it's not just the four of you. There's something else in here. And all of you knows at the same time, this is a predator that has grown huge and horrible from feeding on the nightmares of 1,000 frightened children. And you all know instinctively that what it wants more than anything is for you to start screaming. We are going to go to the grid, and we are going to begin the fight against the Shiver. This is going to be an unusual fight, in that I'm not going to use the grid. Well, that's not true. I am going to use the grid. You are all lost in the darkness. None of you can see, and it's going to take time for you to have your eyes adjust to the light. Each of you has a new stat called Dark Sense. And if you take a look on the grid over in the far column, it's column AT, there's a little thing showing your starting Dark Sense, which is higher for those who have more of a sharp stat. What we're going to do on the fight is that I'm going to place you all in random spots on the grid, which I'm doing right now. I'm not going to tell
Uh,
you where those spots are. Yes?
just a quick question because I can't remember. Didn't the first pair of glasses I picked up do something with darkness?
I am so glad you said that because that's absolutely true. So Garrett, as you land and look around, you can see that the X-ray spectacles are allowing you a little bit of extra vision. How much extra vision? I hear you cry. Well, I'm glad you asked. You get an extra 5 to your dark sense. So your dark sense starts at 7.
Oh my god.
What does dark sense do? I hear you cry. Well, it's very simple. What it does is when you would like to make a move, there are going to be some choices. You won't be able to say I'm going to move from ranged front to front or whatever. You don't know where you are. You can say I would like to try to move towards the entity, or I would like to try to move away from the entity, or I would like to try to move towards or away from a specific hunter. And then we're going to roll your dark sense. And if you roll under your dark sense, congratulations, I will do what you want. And if you don't, I will do something else that is not what you want. Every time you fail a dark sense roll, I will increase your dark sense. And at the start of each of your turns, and we're going to have the entity is going to take the first turn on this because you've all lost initiative. But then you can go in whatever order you want. At the start of your turn, I will give you information about what you can detect based on your current dark sense. It's a little weird, and Stinky, I apologize for throwing you into an off-brand.
Yeah.
So let's change the background here, but we will be using the the dice rolling pieces of the grid to kind of handle all of those. So
Well,
the first thing that happens is the entity will go. The entity is actually. Ooh, before I start, can I take 2 minutes? I need to gather some trackers so I can figure out where I'm going to put threat on the map. It'll take 3 minutes. Are we good with that?
sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. 1 second. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. For those of you wondering how I'm actually doing this, I actually have a physical map in front of me, and if anyone does end up getting enough dark sense to be able to see, I will send you a picture of the map on via
Oh.
DM. So, all right. So, the first thing that happens is there's an ill wind that blows, and you can feel the air moving. Something's nearby, and then Garrett, something's watching you. Something in the darkness has its eyes on you. At the end of the entity's turn, we will place some threat. Put one here, and one there, and one there. All done. Who would like to go next?
You know what? Garrett would actually like to go first.
All right.
As the one of us that can see the best, I think that is smart.
All right. At the start of your turn, Garrett, you can tell that the entity is adjacent to your space. You can also tell that there are 2 hunters in spaces adjacent to you,
Ooh.
but you don't know which ones. So, you can try to attack, or you can try to move, or you can do all the things that hunters can normally do. If you choose to attack, you will test your dark sense, and if you succeed and the entity is in range, you'll make the attack roll as normal. If you fail, the attack misses, and you'll gain a dark sense. If you roll a 19 or a 20 or above on your attack roll,
Ooh.
the attack will deal your resolve damage to another hunter in range.
Ooh. Okay. I kind of like the way this fight is set up. I like it a lot. Um, I'm gonna do. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I'm going to gain focus for my
Mm.
first action
All right.
because why wouldn't I? Um, so just gonna go ahead and change that to remind myself.
Mm-hmm.
And well, if I've learned anything from watching, Animal Planet growing up, I'm gonna poke it with a stick. Um, I'm gonna try
Beautiful.
to.
Go ahead and give me just give me a roll. Doesn't matter what stat you'll use. You're just going to try to roll 7 or below.
All right, so just hit the roll button.
Yeah, P2 roll. You rolled a 4. Success. You can make an attack against the entity. So go ahead and let's see. You are in close to the entity. Its close defense is 10, so that will be your target number. And you are hitting with the armor or with the spear? You said the spear. You said this already.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yes.
that is a quick check for you at close,
Uh.
right? Or no, strong, strong. We had this conversation
Yes.
already. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
I I will always remember this now. It's
All
like
right. So you have focus. Do you want to use the focus and roll twice?
no, I'm the first one. I'm gonna wait. Just see how things go.
All right. Sounds good.
We're early into this fight. Let's just
So,
see.
all right. It's a success. So you're going to deal the resolve damage from the spear. So it's
Yeah.
so
Just get a nice little bit of resolve damage in there.
so
Doesn't
you
hurt.
so you thrust the spear forward into the darkness, and you can hear just like it sounds like there's just like a sibilant noise that kind of that you don't strike anything, but there's just air moving nearby and just kind of a hiss that just kind of disappears off into the darkness. And I think as the yeah, okay, it's going to use an interrupt, and there's a silent chill in the air. And Garrett, you feel everything get very dark and very quiet. I will tell you right now that as a result of its first turn and as a result of this interrupt, you now have 2 curse tokens on you. But don't worry about it. We don't even know what curse tokens are for. Except, except that the owl, who I forgot all about, oh my god, I'm terrible at running games, has spoken up. And the owl says, if it sees you and marks you, it's hunting you. Avoid that. Keep moving. Stay out of its range. And then it falls quiet.
I have a question as a player.
Yeah.
Would this activate my ability leash?
Ooh, let me double check. Leash. When you're in close, when the entity repositions an ally or uses an interrupt, it does trigger the leash. It does suffer 1 resolve damage. So, and now it's remembered that it's not allowed to do interrupts anymore. So thank you for that. Okay. Okay. So you hear this creepy dark figure just kind of like stumble over its feet, and you hear a little shit, and then it goes silent again. Who
Language.
Good job, Book. Good job.
who would like to go next?
I would because I want to do a cool thing.
All right.
One of my special thing I don't know actually because we're not in exploration. Maybe I can't do this, but is that I get advantage when I'm using my unnatural senses, and I thought this might be a case where my
Ah,
dark sense is terrible, but with the senses I could try to close in on either Garrett, with whom I'm familiar, or this
unfor-
entity.
unfortunately, that does only kick in during the exploration phase, and we are currently in
Okay.
hunting. But at the start of your turn, I will tell you the entity is near you.
Ooh.
even if I don't roll with advantage on this,
Mhm.
as a little rat, can I hear it? Like as a creature that's used to being preyed on?
You can sense it. That's essentially
Okay.
what your dark senses picked up. It's essentially
Oh, okay,
all
cool.
of your senses are starting to wake up. You still can't see,
Okay,
but you can start to detect each
but I
other
can hear
and
it.
this thing.
Okay. Then I would like to dab it with my knife.
All right. Go ahead and first of all give me a d20, and you just need to roll 3 or under.
So, is there a place that I click that just does that? That's not rolling against
Just click
not
P3
this
roll.
sharp.
We'll take it. I think there's also a drop down that just says D20. There is. That's right. So, okay, you rolled a 12. So you can't quite figure out a way to do it, but it does make your dark sense go up by 1.
Okay.
Now, because you have not actually done an attack, you can try it again if you like, or you can do anything else that you would normally be able to do.
If I gain focus, that gives me an advantage next time, right?
Correct.
So, and narratively, in this case, that could be like I just take a second to see if my senses improve. And
Correct.
you
Yep.
know, I mean, I know mechanically it went up one, so
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think I'm going to gain focus.
All right. You have focused. Now, let's see. So, what does this creature want to do? Does it want to use one of its interrupts at the cost, at the horrible, horrible cost? Um, no, it does not. It does not. There is silence in the room. Who would like to go next?
Well, if
Um,
no one else is up for it, I will.
All right.
Um, I do apologize. Please bear with me.
I'll
I
take your
did
time.
read through all this stuff, but it's a real paradigm shift
Yeah,
coming up.
and we've thrown you into the deep end of it as well. So take all the time you need. We'll answer questions if they come up. So
So I get basically a move and an attack or two moves,
yeah, so
right?
just yeah, exactly. You have 2 actions, one of which can be an attack.
Okay. So I think to start, I will focus.
Perfect. Okay. Go ahead and there's a little place on your character sheet where you can mark how much focus you have. Which is yeah, you got it.
Currently one.
Yep.
And let's see. Um, so I have no sense of whether this creature is proximal to me or not.
Let's see. You actually, let me see. So your dark sense is currently 4. You can tell that the entity is not near you, but that's all you can tell.
Hmm. Can I tell? Now, I have not heard anything from any of my new companions either, because the attacks that were made were with a knife and a spear. So, two things that don't make noise.
Correct. Not only that, but there's something in here that's kind of muffling the senses, right? There's something unnatural, as well as this unnatural darkness. So, this is kind of why your dark sense can tell you who's near you, but not necessarily where they are in relation to you.
Yeah,
Um,
I was afraid to shoot in the dark.
Yeah, that's my thought as well. I think appreciated by all other
Yeah.
parties. um.
and you could just focus again if you wanted to.
Oh, and just start banking focus. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do that.
because
We
one of
can
the
do that.
yeah one
Let's
of the
go ahead. Let's go ahead and take advantage of my character's trait.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So yeah, I've just doubled down on focus. I'm extra
I mean,
focused.
you're supposed to be patient,
That's
right?
I,
this is the special thing with the rifle. Most characters can have one focus, and rifle holders can have a pile of focus. And there's a lot of
uh-huh.
abilities that kick in. And as you sit and you wait and you kind of look around, then yeah, you can hear the rifle just say yes, good.
Yeah,
Let the
yeah.
other
It is no longer strapped to my back. I'm holding it and readying it, but not yet. But it's not yet ready to fire.
perfect. All right. Does the entity use one of its super cool abilities. No. The
No,
room
why would
remains
it do that?
silent.
It had no reason to do that. It's
No,
just gonna
there's.
fall over dead.
It's gonna be. Yeah, it's fine. Rafa, I think you're the last one to go. What would you like to do? You're not coming through very loudly. I think you might be muted on your end.
Oh, can you hear me now?
There you go. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm
Can
not
I
sure
roll?
whether Stacy knows that JP and Boot are married and they're in the same house.
Yeah, we're sitting like a foot from each other.
Hey,
And I'm right behind their couch, but they don't know it.
how'd you get
You
over
looking
there?
in the window.
I'm in your house.
That
That
was
was,
amazing.
Thank
you
you.
were the one that was like watching them from behind.
I told, literally was telling one of our players recently when she was over, hanging out at the house making jewelry with my wife, that your voice is just fascinating.
He
I'm going to.
was. He was
I'm.
talking.
Thank you. I'm going to choose to take that as a compliment.
No,
But
all the compliments, all of them.
Thank you.
he was complimenting you very, very much so.
You are too kind. All right. So what is Rafa doing?
Oh, I was gonna see if I could roll to see if I have any information about where I am in regards to anything else.
Oh yeah. First of all, so you can tell the entity is not near you, but that's all you know.
Okay. What was the rule for moving?
So if you want to move, you can decide to move either towards or away from the entity, or towards or away from any player.
I would like to attempt to move towards the entity.
All right. Go ahead and give me a d20, and you need to roll 4 or under.
Okay. My thing says add forward. Do I need to change that or
Oh, yes. We absolutely do. Thank you. Yeah.
just second? A two.
It's a 2. Nice. Okay, so you move towards the entity. I have moved you. What would you like to do next? I can tell you after moving, actually, now. You are now near the entity.
Okay. I would like to try to use my book
Mm-hmm.
with Brand,
Ooh, okay. I'm
which
saying,
is
ooh, okay, because I
wise.
know exactly what that is. Okay, make an attack with the book. If it hits, a hunter in your area or an adjacent area may focus as an immediate action. That's a really clever way of subverting my little fight in the dark. Okay. Um, so first of all, go ahead and give me a dark sense roll of d20, and we'll see if you are
Okay.
able to attack properly.
Oh no.
Not so much, not
Mm,
so much. But
mm.
good news is you've got a little more dark sense going on. All right, so you've done a move and you have done an attempted attack, and that is all.
All right.
That is the start of the entity's turn. The start of the entity's turn. The entity is kind and is friendly, just like Santa Claus, and as such, all of you will gain 1 dark sense at the start of the entity's turn.
Oh,
And then, let's see, Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the crack of dead lips pulling back from a set of dead man's teeth right by your ear. And I need you to give me a quick check with a target number of 13. And actually, it's worse than that because you're going to be adding 4 to your roll because you're standing on a pile of 2 curse.
Does it remind me how my players felt running away from chains in my last monster of the week?
Yes, it was.
Ah, it's a success. All right. So with a twisting yell, you manage to pull your head away, and you can hear the snapping of these horrible, horrible dry teeth right where your ear had been. And it takes you a lot to pull away, and inside, and your heart just is accelerating, and sweat begins to pour down your head as you lose 4 resolve. The good news is you lose a curse token. And then and then um the air moves and becomes still again. And it is the end of the entity's turn. At the end of the entity's turn, I will place 3 threat onto the grid. And who would like to go next?
Well, it was me last time, so I am going to try to stab it again with my knife.
Ooh.
And I guess this time I have advantage, right?
Yeah. So first of all, So first of all, so your dark sense is currently at 5. All right.
Okay.
You can tell the entity is not near you,
Okay.
and there is one hunter near you.
Well, in that case, um, maybe I'm going to switch to the pistol if I am not attacking from close.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to use the
Your focus.
Whisper Quick ability. Oh, yeah, well, the focus, but I also would like to use Whisper Quick, which lets me mark 1 resolve and still roll with Quick, even if I am, because I would ordinarily do sharp, I think, if I'm firing from range.
Yeah.
But if I use this ability, I mark a resolve and then I can use Quick instead.
I think these are all great plans. And the first thing I'd like you to do is roll a d20 and see if you can get 5 or below.
Okay. Wicked did not.
Okay. So you gain a dark sense.
Oh, but I have advantage, right? If I can use my focus, do I get to roll twice?
Oh, if you want to make a roll on your on that, yeah, absolutely. Then you won't
Yeah,
get the
'cause I'm
focus on
weak.
your attack though. So this is just to see if
Oh,
you
that's
can.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was planning to use the focus to just see if I could
Brilliant.
see the thing.
Go nuts. Let's see. It's a 2.
Okay.
All right. I will not increase your dark sense by 1 then. And
Okay.
okay, so you are shooting with your pistol. You are using Whisper Quick, so you're going to attack with Quick. And
Yes, I'm going to mark a resolve
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay. You are at
so I'm
you're at range, so its range defense is 9.
okay.
And yeah, that's good enough. Okay.
Okay, cool. So to narratively spin it, why Quick works? It's just like I was able to catch a glimpse, and I took advantage of the moment when I thought I could see it,
Beautiful.
and
Perfect.
fired a shot quickly.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, let's see what happens. Give us a quick roll. That's a sharp roll.
Oh wait, it's a sharp roll. I gotta fix that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Critical success.
Okay. So, critical success with the pistol is 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus, is there something that adds on with Whisper Quick? I forget.
No, not
Okay.
Whisper Quick.
Oh, yeah, it does. You restore a resolve as a result of that.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yes,
Yeah.
with this attack, it inflicts
Okay.
wound damage.
Okay.
The only thing to add on if she shot through my space, but I'm now getting she's not near me.
I
Wow.
Anyone's guess. All right. The pistol hums a little in your hand, and it's, you're at first you think that you're shooting blind, and then it's almost like the barrel just kind of like twitches a little bit, and it's just almost like it's shouting, and the bullet leaves, and you hear it pass through something that leaves damage in its wake, and there's the sound of a scream played backwards, echoing from somewhere in the shack around you.
That way.
On a successful hit, I will give you an extra dark sense as well.
Woot.
All right. So Felicity, that was just your first action, yeah?
Okay. Am I getting any better at seeing like the surroundings?
So,
Like that?
I will tell you that first of all, I'm probably increasing dark sense too slowly mechanically, and I will adjust that shortly. When you get to 10, you'll be able to tell not just how many hunters are nearby, but which hunters are nearby.
Okay.
When you get to
Um,
15, I will tell you the name of the space you are standing on and how much threat is in that space. And if you get to 20, I will send you a picture, a DM picture of the full grid, and you will
okay,
basically
cool.
keep that for the rest of the fight.
I originally was thinking maybe I would duck it for cover because I thought this thing still had the advantage of being able to see me.
Oh,
But then I remembered I should really just reload. I should use my other action to reload
you.
because my pistol, the kind that it is, has a capacity of 1.
Mm-hmm. All right. Fair enough. All
You
right.
reload it, you hear a little like,
Yeah,
It's like Cookie
thank
Monster.
you.
Thank you.
right.
All right.
Delicious.
Now, because you have made a
Oh,
successful
oh,
attack.
oh, oh. Had a thought.
Okay.
Um, do you remember how Felicity said it's that way and that we have a little claymore?
Would you like to know a little bit more
Mm.
about the Claymore?
And now we know what direction the enemy is in.
But we don't know the direction the rest of us are in.
That's a very good point. And we saw a vivid pantomime about how much it would hurt if we got hit by it.
Mm-hmm.
The Claymore. All right. Um, Using the Claymore in most fights, you will consume the Claymore and place it in a zone that is close to you. In most fights, you'd be able to pick the zone. At the start of the entity's next turn, if the entity is co-located with the item or next to it, the entity and any hunters in that zone will take 2 wounds.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
another fight where it has a special function, but don't worry about it.
Well, maybe this is not the best place since we can't be sure we're not going to hurt each other.
Right. Directionality is an important
Yeah.
component of the item's function.
Yeah.
And right now, direction? What direction?
Yeah.
All right.
That way.
Let's take a look. So, does the creature use an interrupt? Is it worth burning through its precious, precious resolve? Oh, it thinks about it. There's a pregnant pause, but then nothing. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Garrett, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
At the start of your turn, I hear you say, "What do I know about the start of my turn?" And actually, let's go ahead and we're going to ratchet everyone up 1 extra one. We're going to say that every turn, everyone's going to gain 2 dark sense. I'm making that executive decision on the fly. First time through this fight. Good job. You can currently tell that the entity is not near you, and there are 2 hunters near you. That's all.
I think I've just that I think I may have a decent idea. I wonder if I'm near to. I'm fan to decide if I actually want to do. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Why not? I would like to try to move towards Felicity.
Towards Felicity. Perfect. Give me a dark sense roll if you would, please.
Alright.
You'll need 9 or below.
Alright. So just wait. And oh nope. That was not a 9.
Nope. All right. Well, so your dark sense will go up by 1, and I will move you somewhere. And I will tell you after moving You are not near the entity, and you can make out that either in your space or adjacent to your space is George.
Hmm. Definitely the wrong direction. Dang.
I don't know why you'd think that.
Definitely what?
Oh,
Definitely the wrong
he
direction.
thinks that I've moved him in the wrong direction.
Well, I know you
Oh
did. Just
no.
use your church right now.
That
Use
does
yours.
you wound me, sir. Okay,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
all right. Um,
Wound away. Wound away.
would you like to move? Would you like to move again? I mean, it's a free way to ratchet up your dark sense so much faster.
At this moment, kind of realistically
Why does
wrong.
that sound so sinister?
Oh no, it's extremely sinister.
Ugh,
There's nothing good coming from this person right now. It's all evil.
you
I
see,
understand because I was doing that to y'all Thursday.
you
It's
see,
all evil.
slings and arrows. My God.
I'll just try to make my way back to the entity.
Are you gonna move toward the entity? Beautiful.
Mm,
Give me a d20 if you would.
mm.
Roll lower.
Oh my
It's a
God,
17.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Um. Okay. You have
Should have
moved.
rolled before you insulted me.
Um. um. Okay. You run face first into the wall. You are in support.
Uh-huh, yeah. Mhm.
But
I said,
your dark sense does go up by one.
not brain.
Oh, shit, charming.
Okay. So now you can enact that scene from the very end of the Blair Witch Project, and you can stand in the corner as the entity goes
I'm
after
just
everyone
gonna
else.
stare at it.
Yeah.
This is a nice wall. They built a beautiful wall. This
Cool.
is a beautiful wall right here.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
gonna turn around because it's gonna be standing right behind me.
All right. Well, good turn, Garrett. Who else? That leaves us with either Rafa or George can go. Who would like to go next?
I can go.
Okay. The start of your turn, you are aware that the entity is near, and no hunters are near.
If there are no hunters near me,
Oh no.
Be afraid. Be all there afraid.
I would like to give a solid shot.
Is it shotgun time?
Shotgun.
Yes.
All right. You are at close. So, um, the first thing let's do, go ahead and give me a d20 roll and try to get under your dark sense of 7.
Yay.
Oh, she's done it. All right. So your dark sense is going to go up, regardless of whether you hit or not. So a solid shot, you say. So that's a quick check for close range, and the defense at close is 10. So let's change the target number to 10.
It says sharp at ranged or close.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yep, it is sharp. You're correct. All right, go for it.
Okay.
All right. It is a success. So the success, remind me, on a solid shot, you've changed it to a 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the sound of whistling shot blasting through the air, followed by a sorry, yes.
I was reading. Is it attack with sharp at ranged or close? Roll with advantage when attacking from close. So can I roll again?
Yes.
The disappointment in the voice.
Okay, it wasn't any better, but it was worth a shot.
All right. So, as I was saying, the sound of shot blasting through the air, followed by a movement of air nearby, and you can tell that you've come very close. You've made it expend some energy at the very least, and you sense that it's watching you. What would you like to do now? Would you like to reload? You don't have to. Your shotgun is perfectly happy not being reloaded, and you can just leave it as is.
Should I reload or should I move? Um, you know what? I did hit it, so I am going to try to hit it with the butt of my gun as I reload in that direction.
Okay. So that is going to be an attack. So go ahead and give me a d20 roll of 8 or under.
Oh no.
Oh, it's a 20.
Yeesh.
Okay. So I have good news and I have bad news.
Oh
Oh.
no! Oh no! 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 No!
Actually, no. It's just good. It's good news and irritating news. The good news is that your dark sense has gone up a little bit. The irritating news is that there's no one nearby for you to hit with the butt of your shotgun, and so it
Oh,
does not do any damage to any of your friends.
so good and good for me. Irritating for you.
That yes, it is. Thank you for noticing. Okay.
I apologize.
No,
Thanks for noticing.
it's fine. Okay, so but I think it is going to use an interrupt, knowing full well that it's going to hurt. So it's going to take a resolve for using an interrupt. And you can feel, Rafa, the hair on the back of your neck stand up as something is moving closer to you. And in your mind's eye, you're visualizing hands reaching out from the dark, but nothing happens.
Oh, okay. This is fine. Everything's fine.
And that takes us to George. George, what would you like to do?
Well,
Would
how much triangulating can I do here? Because I've heard some shots fired and I've heard some shots land.
yeah.
And
So
even with like
And a
muffled,
backwards scream.
yeah.
yeah.
So you're
I'm totally imagining the Wilhelm scream being
that
rolled
backwards?
backwards.
you are starting to develop a mental model of the place. You haven't quite managed to get it. You can tell that the entity does not seem to be near you, but that two of your hunters are. So those two
Okay.
of your friends are in your space or adjacent to your space.
And I can't tell where the entity is
Not yet.
directionally yet.
Not yet. We're getting there.
Are we
Hmm.
allowed to talk to her and be like, you know,
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, it's quite rude to have guests and not even turn the lights on.
It is a capital F O, capital P pa. Yes.
It is, and I do say that out loud.
I mean,
There's no reason for us to be quiet around this creature.
as long as you can tell from your arms that you're not shooting at the ground, I'm safe.
As you say this,
I hit it.
you hear almost it's not a chuckle quite. It's kind of like the sound of sticks being dragged across wood, and then it's gone.
And I can't tell the direction of that sound.
You can shoot off into the dark, but you haven't quite figured it out yet. You're still not sure which of these shapes are friend and which are foe.
In which case, I will go ahead and, as another maneuver, I will increase my focus to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will go ahead and apologies in advance, chums, and I will go ahead and fire. I attack the darkness.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a d20 if you would, please, George. And all you need is 6 or below to successfully mount an attack.
Okay.
It's gonna be fine.
I'm the one with the tentacles. Please don't hit me.
I can't see you. Do I just click on the little P4 roll thing, or do I need to make any changes here? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll change you to d20 over there, which
Okay.
yeah.
And then I just click the little button.
Click the little P4 roll. Yep.
And then I wait.
Oh, I see. I didn't even notice the D20 part. Now I see it.
Let's see. Oh, is it not? Oh, let's see. You clicked on P4 roll?
The little checkbox?
Oh, not the
Or do I?
checkbox. I'm sorry. It's the
Oh,
words
there it is.
P4 roll. Yeah, you
Got
rolled a
it.
2. Excellent news. Okay, so you're gonna gain this, and go ahead and make your normal attack then. You're gonna attack the creature with advantage, I think you said, and you're making a sharp check
Uh,
against.
am I attacking with advantage?
Oh, if you want to use a focus, yes. If you don't, then
Well,
no.
I was just banking focus,
Well, you
don't
could.
you know?
Yeah, you keep on banking if you want. I will not tell you how to live your life. So you could just
Um,
do a standard sharp roll if you want.
yeah, I can just do a sharp roll here.
Okay. Yeah, it's a success. All right.
Woohoo!
The rifle.
Does
Tell. So as you're dealing this, how much does the rifle deal from? Let's see. Rifle. 2-2. So it's going to deal the first number, which is 2 resolve damage. So as you
Oh, it
can.
doesn't do it's not a wound. It's
Yeah,
resolved.
yeah. So the way that there's actually a little visual aid over on the right side of the sheet, over in columns ATAU. So if you roll a standard success, you do resolve damage, and that's going to be anything under your stat. If it's under your stat and over the target number, and in this case your stat is 13, the target number is 9. So that's the sweet spot between 9 and 13 where it will do wound damage.
Okay.
And
Well,
once you've broken it, once you've taken all of its resolve, then everything that you hit it with is just the wound damage. So
good to know.
so
Excellent.
so yeah, the bullet just kind of ricochets out, and you can hear the rifle just kind of whispering at you. It's just like up a little to the left. There's no wind. You don't need to compensate, right? And it's just like, and pull, and you hear, like, just like, again, it's just like the backward scream just kind of echo through the walls, and you can feel the air move as something bolts out of the way, and you can tell you've hit something. You haven't actually struck anything that's thick, anything that's substantial, but you've got its attention. And by way of getting its attention, I'm going to go ahead and put a little threat there on your space. Cheeky little threat.
Oh,
Um,
well, and because I have 3 resolve, I can
mhm.
take an additional maneuver, so I will
Yep.
go ahead and reload.
Yeah, the free reload trick. Everyone likes it. This one cool trick that entities hate. Um, cool. All right. So you focused, you shot, you reloaded. Perfect.
Hmm.
Does it want to use any of its cool tricks? The answer is no, because it's right where it wants to be, and it's ready for the start of its turn. Good news, everyone. Your senses are beginning to adjust. Rafa, your dark sense is at 11. Garrett's is at 13. Felicity, yours is 9. George, yours is at 9.
Lovely.
And Rafa, again, there's a sound right by your ear, and you can hear dead lips crack apart right up against your earlobe, and you can feel a dead man's breath echo just begin to drift against your ear. And I need you to make a quick check for me with a target number of 13. And I need you to add 2 to the result of that roll because you're standing on a space with 1 threat.
Okay.
And the target number is 13, I said? I did. There you go. Go for it.
No.
Any cool special tricks you
Uh-oh.
have to avoid taking wound damage?
I don't think so.
All right. The teeth rake across the side of your skull, and it comes away with a good portion of your ear, which just snaps away, and you take 4 wounds.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Are you next to me?
I don't
Nobody's
know.
next to me.
She doesn't know yet. She'll.
Okay.
I screamed. Do you hear me?
You guys hear a scream from
Actually,
somewhere in there.
Does it sound close?
Yeah.
well, because I have an ability that I think I would be able to take some of that, but if we can't, if you I can't tell if you're even next to me, then I would say I couldn't reasonably do that.
Okay. Let's see. And then it's maneuver. Oh my gosh, what's it going to do for its maneuver? It's it's going to sit there and it's going to chew and it's going
Ew.
it's going to gain 3 resolve and go back up to 9. It's the end of its turn. I'm going to go ahead and add some more threat to the space. How about one here? How about ooh, I felt one here. How about one over there? All right. Any questions so far? By the way, we can keep on going, or we can change things up if we need to do anything different.
I think this is good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. Who's next? Who's next?
Is it back around to Garrett?
Garrett will pretty much just spend his turn moving. So,
Well,
I mean, if you want to get that out of the way real quick, we can.
let's see. So Garrett, you know that you are in support. All right. We've already established that you bumped into the wall, and that's free information you get. Right.
Face first, out.
You can tell that the entity is not near, and you can tell that George and Felicity are near, meaning that if you're in support, they are either in support or in range spaces.
So, I guess I'll use my first movement to move to Felicity.
You want to move towards Felicity?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and give me a D20 and roll 13 or under, please. Oh, it's a 14.
Okay, can I use my focus to reroll that?
Well, normally I ask people to do that before they roll, but fine. We've
Oh,
we've
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
could've
no,
said it.
no. It's fine.
No,
It's fine.
No,
Yeah.
that's
I no,
if you-
I am literally just fucking around. Yes, you are more
Oh.
than welcome to do it.
I've had to be a fair player. I understand what it's like. Okay, it didn't matter anyway, so.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, of
Cool.
course.
I'm glad we had this chance to talk. Okay, so okay, we increase your dark sense up to 14. Look at all that dark sense. Shame if anything was happened to it. And okay, I have moved you. After moving, you are aware once again you are not near the entity, and you are near George and Felicity. What else would you like to do?
Move toward the entity.
Move towards the entity. Cool. Well, now you can roll 14 or under, and surely you can do that. You did it. You did it.
Yay.
Towards the entity. Okay, so let's see. What's the fastest way for you to get there? Okay. I have moved you towards the entity, and that's a promise. Do we want to use an interrupt? We might want to use a cheeky little interrupt. Oh, yeah, I'll go on then. All right. So the entity's gonna drop down to 8 resolve, and there is the scrape of dead leaves. Did you hear that? Something has moved. That's all. Who's next?
Me. So I was trying to be prudent after I fired my shot and I didn't move. But now this thing is maybe moved, and I don't know now.
Well, at the start of your turn, with your dark sense of 9, the information you get is the entity is not near, and there is one hunter near you. All right. As you were.
Okay, so do I need to roll anything, or is that
If you're wanting to
That's just what
move
I
or
get.
attack, then we'll do a dark sense check.
Okay.
Regardless of whether you fail or succeed, you will increase your dark sense by 1.
Yeah, I think I would like to get in a position to fire the pistol again and not hit somebody. So I would like to
Well, you
try
also,
real hard to do something.
so yeah, so since the pistol is a ranged weapon, you could just shoot it, right? The only thing you could move first if you want, and that will increase your dark sense by 1, and that'll give you a slightly better chance of hitting your attack.
Okay. I think that's what I'll do is just try to like put a little distance between me and like the hunter that I can sense is near me,
Okay.
and then
So
fire the thing.
is that you want to move away from a specific hunter, or from that
Well,
hunter? Yeah.
I would like to. I mean, my goal,
Mm-hmm.
without seeing the grid,
Mm-hmm.
is to stay in the ranged area.
Okay. Uh huh.
Um, but not hit anybody.
I can say
So
that you
I'm
can.
not
You can say we can move you away from the person who's near you.
okay.
Go ahead and give me a d20 if you would, and roll a 9 or less. Ooh.
I have not done this.
Oh, okay. It's an 18. Fair enough. All right. Well, good news is your dark sense goes up by 1, and
Okay.
that is allowing you to see that the person near you is George.
But I cannot see. Um,
You can make a shot at where you think the enemy
okay.
is. It'll be the same
Okay.
thing.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think that's good because at least I've ascertained the ally that's near me, so I can
Yeah.
try not to shoot George.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm also
Appreciate
going to attack the darkness, and I'm going to use my ability to attack from range, still using quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just whisper
All
quick.
right. All right. So it is a quick check. Its range defense is 9. You don't have anything to add to this, so yeah, all good. Go for it. It's a success.
Regular success.
Regular success. All right. So the pistol is now empty, and you have dealt it 3?
3.
3 resolve? Pistols.
It's a hand cannon, so
That's
I have
right. The
3.
pistol's OP. All right. So you can you hear a scrape against the ground as this thing just kind of lurches out of the way, and the shot buries itself somewhere in the wooden wall, and
It starts to experience self-doubt because I almost hit it again.
No, it's somebody else's fault.
That's right.
George bumped you.
yeah, that
No,
is
I
that,
meant the
that
entity. The entity is experiencing resolve damage because
Oh, okay.
yeah.
he's getting the self-doubt because
Absolutely.
he thinks he's so cool and stealthy, and I just keep like almost getting him. And Rafa
Oh.
too, like all
And,
these resolve damages are gonna
well,
break it at some
and
point.
it is totally on brand for the pistol to say that was someone else's fault anyway, even if
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I was going for.
yeah. Perfect. Okay, so okay, you have grazed this thing, at least metaphysically. Was that your first action?
I
No,
moved.
You moved. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So, all right. So, we've done that. Okay. I think even though it's going to hurt, it's going to take a resolve, and it's going to use an interrupt. George, you feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and again, in your mind's eye, you can see not 1, not 2, not even 3 or 4, but like a dozen hands reaching towards you out of the dark. But nothing happens.
It's just boopy.
You're just
I've just
you're just creeped out. Yeah, in the parlance of the game, mechanically, you have gained a curse token. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean Garrett's got 2, and he's still alive. So
Maybe
now.
I shouldn't have said don't shoot at the tentacles.
who's up next?
I mean, I just suffered insults, so I'm happy to take a turn.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Has no one ever told you to keep your hands to yourself and where other people can see them?
Ooh.
Very nice.
I will go ahead and I checking in first. I tell anybody is nearby on
Well, yes.
with the dark sense as I am.
With a dark sense of 9, you can tell the entity is close, and you can tell that 2 of your fellow hunters are also close.
Okay. So in that case, I will go ahead. I'm going to attack with I don't need to move if it's close, because that means I'm in close range.
It
I
does, right?
assume.
And so,
Okay.
so close range for the rifle is a little tricky in that
Well, I was thinking of attacking with my armor.
that's a better call. Yeah. So if you attack with your armor, it'll be rolling against your hard stat. Oh, with quick or sharp. Sorry, quick or sharp with close. Yeah. So you would probably attack with sharp. So okay. Yeah. You wanna punch a ghost?
Yeah, and if I use one of my focus, then foci, then I should be able to roll with advantage, correct?
Absolutely right. Yeah.
All right.
So it's going to be quick or sharp, and I
So
think
I'm
we said it's going to
I think
be
I'm gonna
sharp.
say well, I get to pick, right? So I
Yeah.
think sharp
Yeah.
is the way to go.
Yeah. And then
Um,
yeah,
and then
and
I
then
just click on my thing twice.
yeah, click P4 roll, and then click P4 roll again. All right, that's a success. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, which one of those do you want?
So I think I'd like the success. Let's do success.
Perfect. Okay. You have dealt a resolve damage to it. So yeah, just kind of reaching out and the armor just kind of like hisses, just like you can tell it's kind of like it's doing the thing where it wants to be it's like you thought this was just decorative, right? Guess again, motherfucker. And just
Yeah.
as you
The best
move
part is
in.
that, oh yeah, because it's a shawl. So for even though nobody can see this, for color, she 100% does a locker room towel strike,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
right? Take it off your shoulders, twist it up real quick, and do a quick ultrasonic snap.
Mm.
Um,
I love it, and I think you kind of you graze the fingers of this thing as you get in, and you feel something crack, and the armor is singing in your ears with delight. Um,
so
so yeah, beautiful.
mechanically speaking, I expended a focus, but for my maneuver this turn, I will focus again. So I'm
Yeah,
back at 3.
absolutely. And because you're back at 3, you got another one, right?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else I can do with that right now because I can't see what I'm doing.
Let's see.
Like
So let's see. Yeah, unfortunately
because
there
a
is.
lot of this stuff has to do with terrain, and it's like, well, I don't really know where I am, so I can't
Yeah,
really.
there is unfortunately no terrain in the pitch black shack. So
Yeah, yeah. As it
yeah.
turns out,
Let's
and
see.
nobody needs healing or anything, so I think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit tight
Well,
unless I can focus again
I
and just
mean,
keep
yeah, you
thinking of.
can. You absolutely can. You can stack up to is it 5 or 6? It's a
Yeah, I can
lot.
I max at 5, so I'm at 4.
Take it. Yeah, for sure.
All right, that's what's going on.
Love it. Okay, on its turn. Ooh. Nope. It's biding its time. It does nothing. And then Rafa, you are still to go. And on your turn, you can tell the entity is near, and Garrett is also near.
Um, what is the condition in which I would hit another player? I'm sorry,
Um,
forgot.
if you when you do your dark sense roll, if you get a 19 or higher, then you will deal your resolve damage to any other hunter who is in reasonable range of your attack.
Um, I would like to use my 1-3. I forgot what it's called. Solid shot.
The freaking solid shot. Okay. So first off, yeah, D20, you got it, and you need to roll 11 or less.
Oh shoot!
Ooh, that was the thing that I said. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why I rolled solid shot because
I
it was
think we
only
need
one
to put
resolve.
this
And I
virtual
rolled
die
below
in a freezer.
2.
yeah. Well,
Sorry, babe.
George, I'm sorry, but you manage to drop below the blast of buckshot just before it gets in, but it is going to cost you 1 resolve damage.
Oh, I thought Garrett was close to me.
Um.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've got this entirely backwards.
Yeah.
George, take that all back. Yep, Garrett, take a resolve damage.
Yeah, we're good. We got it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's why I rolled the solid shot because it was one resolve, and if I would have
Yeah,
hit him with the other, it would have been two.
that's smart. That's smart. Okay. Anyway, your dark sense does go up by one by virtue of having done an attack, so that's nice.
And
Um,
because if it didn't hit, do
oh,
I get another?
and I
Could I attack again? Or
because you
oh
did not
wait,
actually attack.
oh,
No, actually, you did attack because it did end up actually causing damage to another creature. So we don't put threat on your space. That's the good news. But
okay, I forgot to
you
roll with advantage.
oh well then
Okay,
go, so for a dark sense roll, you could use your focus to roll your dark sense roll again if you want. Um,
um,
or you can save it
do I?
for.
I don't. Do I? Did I start with the focus? I haven't used any, and I haven't gained any. I don't think.
You don't start the session with a focus, so
Okay, then I don't think I have any.
fair enough. Then you can't.
I haven't gained any.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll be honest.
Thank you very much. I would have given it to you because I am credulous. Okay.
um,
Would you like to reload? The thing is near. You have a chance of whacking it with a gun. Of course, you also have a chance of whacking
yeah.
Garrett with a gun. But how
Yeah, I
often?
mean, what happened? We
Yeah.
break
Now,
my resolve? Ah,
and you
Why are you gonna
can
say it like that?
you can use your focus on this one. If so, this is the you're checking hard, and let's see. You don't have to make a dark sense roll for this. So essentially, uh, yeah, if yeah, go ahead and just roll. As long as it's not a 19 or a 20, uh, then you won't hit Garrett. Okay, it's a 15.
And
So okay, so did you want to use the focus and roll that again, or do you want to just leave it as is? It's a 1-1 attack. I know it's not.
would it be the focus or would it be the advantage I get with for attacking with the
Oh, with the
shotgun?
shotgun in close. Yeah. Roll, go ahead and roll again. Yep.
Okay.
I always forget that applies. Okay, it's a
Okay.
success. Good job. So okay, this thing is down to just 2 resolve, and we do increase your dark sense by 1 for that. Nicely done. Okay. Is that your turn? Which
Yes,
other
sir.
which other hunter needs to? Oh, that's right. None of the hunters go because it's the entity's turn again. So, we're gonna ratchet up some dark senses. 15, 16, 12, and 12. George,
Mm.
you can hear this thing in your ear and it whispers your name. And you flinch. Give me a quick check with a target number of 13, please. And if you have a focus, you may use it. If you don't use the
No,
focus, you
I
will.
will use that focus.
I thought you might. I thought you might. There you go.
Woo!
All right. So, as
Now I know why Will Smith makes that exact noise.
you have rolled both ends of the spectrum,
Yeah.
so
You gotta
perfect.
send
Okay.
that to me
So,
quick.
you do still take 4 resolve damage as you spin out of the way of this thing's clashing teeth. Um, and have I told you how to mark the damage?
Four resolve?
Yeah, so just click 4 of those little check boxes, and yeah, there you go. Beautiful. All right. And that, and then
Yikes on bikes.
it it moves around a little bit, and you can feel it focusing on you yet again. At the end of its turn, it's going to place some threat on the grid. It's going to go a 1. Ooh, this is getting gross. 2, 3. All right. That's the end of its turn, and it's who would like to go next? You've got this thing on the ropes.
Well, we will go with Senior Garrett.
Garrett, as your eyes adjust, you can tell you are standing in flank right. Let's move you over there. You can tell the entity is near, Rafa is near, and George is near. And you can tell that there is 2 threat on your space. All right, as you were.
Well, we're gonna do the thing we love doing. We just gonna get them focused.
Mm-hmm.
Just because.
Yeah,
Yeah, we love that focus. Focus is a beautiful thing.
yeah, it's unseemly.
And then we're just gonna do the old-fashioned tabby stab.
Stabby stab. All right. Let's give me a d20. You just need 16 or under, and surely that's fine. It's a 10. Congratulations. You get to do an attack. So that is your strong attack against close defense. Close defense is 10.
Oh, is it 10?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 10.
Yeah. Range is 9. Yeah. We got there in the end. Using focus on the attack? Or are you going to keep it?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use focus. Yeah, you know what? Let's
Yeah.
just go ahead
Absolutely, yes.
and see,
Okay.
this is why.
Oh, a
This is
superior
why.
success. A superior success? Great googly moogly. Okay, that's 3 wounds. Okay, you feel the spear come in and it catches on something. And it's something that's dry surrounding something that's wet. And you feel it catch. And there's a shriek, and you can feel this wind in front of you as this thing whips around and is focused directly at you. You have another action though, so and you can tell right now actually that there is now 3 threat on your space for your successful attack.
Oh, huh? What do you mean I have another action?
Because you focused first. I'm so sorry. Yep.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, I take it back.
I
No extra action for
I
you.
used both. Yes, I used
All
both.
right.
Uh,
Okay. In that case, Garrett, it's going to spend all of the threat in your space. I'll go ahead and clear that up in a second. As its dead fingers grab at you, it's going to take a resolve damage from the use of an interrupt. And I need you to make a strong check. I know that's not too scary for you. It's a strong check with a target number of 12.
that's we love to see it. We love to see easy rolls for us. Let's just
Hold on,
okay.
not a hard check, sir. You need a strong check. A strong
Oh,
check from.
I thought you said hard.
No. That was the wishful thinking.
Oh.
Oh.
That.
Oh. So the fingers reach out and work their way into your face, and
Ow.
you flinch and then begin to scream. Take 3 wounds.
I think I'd much rather take the damage considering my resolve is about to break. So,
Yeah. Cool. All right. That's its interrupt. It's done being mean. Who'd like to go next?
I will. I just want to point out I did not use the pinwheel because I didn't think he could see it. I don't know. I didn't know if it would work.
That's an excellent question.
So I didn't try.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that you then got your eyes gouged for 3, but that's why there was not an intervention.
Oh goodness. All right.
Okay, my first action in the dark, I'm probably doing this simultaneously to try to look around, is to reload.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because last time I moved and attacked.
Would you like to know your free information?
Oh, yes, please.
All right. With a 12, the entity is not near you. George is near you.
Okay, I'm sorry my husband had to come and comment on eye gouging. I think he was not prepared.
All right,
to
fair
hear
enough.
that.
Yeah. That's how we roll. Sorry. Yeah. So
Garrett wasn't prepared either.
so yeah, not near the entity. You are near George.
Okay. I would like to attack it, and so
Hmm.
I guess I have to do my actual check now at this point.
Yeah, do a check of
Okay.
your dark sense. You just need to roll a d20, 12 or under. You got it.
Woo.
All right, go ahead and give me an attack roll at ranged with
And
the.
I'm using quick for this because of my
Yeah, and it's the hand
cool
cannon.
shit.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's the hand cannon.
Mhm.
Okay,
It
range
is a hand
defense.
cannon.
Range defense in 9. You're all set up to go. Let's see what it looks like.
Yep. I do love this hand cannon, even though it only has one ammo.
That is
Because
the,
it's
yeah, checks and balances, man.
Mhm.
yep.
All right, let's see what you get. Unfreaking believable. All right, tell us tell us what it looks like as you send this thing back to hell, and I'll take a picture and post it in the
Okay.
Discord.
Um. So a little resolute-faced rat in the darkness. She's got her head cocked and listening closely as she reloads her pistol, and she thinks she knows where it is. And she looks really cool, but nobody can see her because it's dark.
Unbelievable.
Uh,
So
and she shoots it, whatever it happens to be, between its eyes, should it have them.
So there is the rending again. The pistol in your hand, just kind of again, you can feel the barrel almost just kind of like reaching out with its awareness and just saying, "There, that's the one now." And the bullet just screams out of its barrel like it's a sailor shouting curses on at the end of a drunken binge, and it plows through center mass of this thing, and it's the scream echoes throughout the inside of the shack. And as the scream happens, the darkness fades away just in time to see this hideous cloaked figure with a dozen dead limbs reaching out from a giant distended maw with horrible teeth all over it. And then it fades and is gone. But not before you're able to do a baptism. So, what we do for a baptism. Congratulations, everyone, on surviving that very weird and very janky fight. Um,
Well, I say.
so, on record keeping, everyone recover all of your wounds and resolve. For those of you who had your fingertip, don't worry, I've got that little debuff built in. And then everyone is able to select a new ability for one of their weapons. You can say if it's a weapon that you got an ability because you used it so effectively and so successfully in the fight, or you can say it's something else, right? So, but talk to us a little bit about what the baptism looks like for each of you as your weapon learns its new power.
I'm perusing my offerings.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are no
So
trespassers.
we're still tier one, right? Because we don't know any. Or,
Yeah,
did you tell us before that like it's not yet clear in the rules what unlocks the subsequent tiers?
yeah. So I've got some more information on that. So eventually, right, as you've been killing these entities, every time we kill an entity, you guys get a little bit of currency, which is called bone, and we have now gotten up to our fifth entity kill. No, our that's just our third. Believe it or not, that is just our third entity. So you have gathered a total of 12 bone. Now, at the point where we get to take you into the refuge, there will eventually in the rules be a thing where you get to spend that to unlock cool things. And one of the things you unlock is a forge, which will give you access to tier 2. Now that said, after this hollow, I'm going to give everyone the chance
Okay.
to start with a tier 2 ability. So,
Okay.
and George already has one because George came in a different way and was not sure why they were able to get a tier 2 ability, but that's just how it worked. So, but yeah, tell me whoever wants to go first around what the baptism looks like and which ability you are gaining.
So once again, Garrett just kind of stepped up and put out the the pole arm, kind of absorbing just some of the the darkness from the ugg and the muck of the hollow.
Mm-hmm.
And as it is, the blade just widens and enlarges and sharpens at the very point as I am going to take Pierce whenever I am in flank, inflict an extra wound.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pierce is a brutally good ability for spear. All right, so the
Yes.
spear drinks up this energy and just kind of hisses its thanks at you as you drink it up. Cool. Who else?
Um, so my book is going to use the leash that we got last time
Mm-hmm.
to like dip itself into the hollow
Mm-hmm.
and pull up into itself as it begins to write words, which is a lecture about focusing.
Mm-hmm.
As I am going to take witness, and when I miss an attack, I can gain a focus.
Ooh, very nice. Excellent. All right, you can feel the book getting heavier, right? Like weirdly metaphysically heavier, like as it's learning these things, and you get a sense that as it gets more powerful, it's learning more about you and about the world around it, which seems fine. Probably fine. All right, who's next?
I would like to reach my little paw into a blood droplet near me and like shape it into a little bullet and load it into the chamber of my hand cannon
Ooh, okay. What are you picking up?
and
Ooh.
duck and cover.
Ooh, duck and cover. Let me unlock that for you. All right.
Dankeschön.
Once per round, when you inflict wound damage, you or an ally in your area may take cover as an immediate action. That's just not freaking fair. Okay. Cool. All right.
So
Sounds
I'm
good.
assuming that it's free, right? Like I have my two
Oh yeah.
maneuvers and
Uh,
then I just can
yeah.
hide for free.
Yeah. Immediate is Grant Howitt speak for. Free doesn't cost you a damn thing. So
Cool. Because I have dive shot now. If I miss, I can get cover. It says claim a
yeah.
terrain tag, which is a
Mm-hmm.
little coverish.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also, if I hit, now I can do it too.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not
So,
worried about it. It's fine. Okay.
uh-huh.
And George, what do you wanna teach your weapons to do?
So she looks at her shawl that she used to do the locker room snap with and
Mm-hmm.
notices that the end that struck the shiver is a different color from the rest of it. It's all kind of black and icky from touching the thing. So she you can watch her consider it for a moment and go, well, this doesn't match at all. Dunks the whole thing in the ichor leaking out of this creature, wrings it out, shakes it out, and it snaps dry, puts it back over her shoulders. And I'm going to take Stoic. So at the start of your turn, while you are ready, restore one resolve.
Beautiful. All
Cool.
right.
And is her shawl now a different color than it
Yeah,
was?
the shawl is now like maybe it was purple or something before. I picture her in gem, like jewel tones.
Hmm.
So this, whatever it is, it's now just black.
Cool.
Love it. All right. Well, so this is a really good time for a break. If folks want, we can take five, do bio breaks,
Yeah.
refresh water, everything.
Yep. I could use a
So
bio
I will
break.
stop recording for now.